the Sheriff Sean McMorrow from the Sheriff Podcast, and that was an awesome episode.
Oh, yeah.
The Sheriff he's a great guy to talk to. He's got a lot of hockey experience, and his show's really taken off. We're also going to have his brother Danny on, and without further introduction or hopefully mishaps, we'll welcome him in.
Hi guys.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going really good. How are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. I'm just honored to be with my brother-in-law, as being the first guest with you guys coming back, man. We missed you guys.
Oh yeah, we missed you too. And I've seen so much about your podcast blowing up. I'm so proud of how far you've come.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah. So we saw most of the hockey community saw that brand new special that came out on Netflix with AJ Galante. That was amazing. I can't believe you got him on your podcast.
Yeah, you want to take this one?
Yeah, there was Sean's had a great career. Sean's met a lot of people, and he's befriended a lot of people, and a lot of people for some reason really like him. So after I watched it, I was watching with my wife, Sean's sister, and we're like, how was Sean not on this team? Just like straight up, how was Sean not on this team? And then when they went by with the time, and I was like, okay, so when he's with Rochester, so he's doing really well for himself then, so that makes sense. So I was like, I need to reach out to AJ, because there's no way he doesn't know who Sean the Sheriff McMorrow is. It's impossible. So I reached out to who I was hoping was AJ, and it was him, and he was a big fan of Sean's, and one thing led to another, and we decided to come on the show, and now the three of us have built a really nice friendship because of it. It's pretty sweet.
That is absolutely amazing. I remember I watched that documentary the day before Sean announced that AJ was coming on to his podcast. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sick.
Well, it was great timing.
Yeah, no, it was great timing, and like Danny really came through in the clutch this time, because when I found out that we were going to get AJ Galante on the show, it was because Danny called me and said, you'll never guess who I'm getting on our show, right? So I had the same expression, emotions as you, buddy, when I found out that we were getting the guest as well. So it was great, and what I liked about it the most is that it drew more attention to our show, so that we could actually bring an audience in that could get the awareness and stuff that we're really trying to accomplish on every show. But the AJs of the world sometimes bring, a bigger audience to your show. So we definitely appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. It was an amazing documentary. I remember watching it and I was thinking, oh my goodness, Netflix did such a good job expressing the story and the history of the Trashers.
Yeah, they did. I think a little bit was maybe embellished, but like anything is for TVs or movies, right? But of course, we've known of AJ and Galantes for a long time, right? Because they gotta remember the thing with Sean and myself, because we're family, is guys like AJ Galante put a lot of clothes and food on our brothers, right? Like the enforcers and the tough guys, and he helped put food on their plates, right? So a guy like him, we've always had a lot of respect for. Like, people look down on that, but if it's not guys for AJ Galante, like, those guys couldn't feed their families, right? They couldn't still do what they love. So we've always had a lot of respect for guys like him, and it turned out that he was really cool too, which is awesome.
And he helped grow the game. I mean, that's always huge when you can grow the game, and I know a lot of the NHL and nowadays are trying to go away from the fighting, but I'm still a fan of the old school. That always needs to be part of the game. You always got to have that enforcer.
Oh yeah, I think that it probably will always be a part of the game, whether it's super big or super small. I think it'll always be there. But they had some really amazing enforcers on that team. I forgot what his name was, but the guy who broke his leg and it was supposed to be career ending, and then he came back and then beat that guy up.
Brad Wingfield.
You want to tell him the story about Brad Winfield?
Yeah, I mean, Brad Wingfield, the gentleman that you were just talking about there, 2 years after that year that the documentary is based on, he actually went to the LNAH, and that was the first go around for me being in the LNAH. So I had a couple battles with Wingfield just 2 seasons after that, the year that the movie's based on. And man, like I got a similar experience to that guy that he went after in the documentary, because in our situation, I drop him right away. And I think he kind of gets embarrassed and he ends up going nuts and throwing the ref off and coming back at me. And man, it was a pretty wild fight. So when I was watching the documentary, I was just remembering, how intense Brad Wingfield really is. But you got to give the man respect. He did his rehab. He got back in the lineup and he was able to redeem anything that he thought that he lost, obviously, right? So you got to give the guy full credit.
Oh yeah, and he seems like he would be like but he is a beast on the ice, and then he seems like a very wholesome person when he's off the ice. Like you could tell by like the emotion he was showing when he saw AJ's dad again. Like you could tell that he was a very wholesome person, cared about the people he was around.
Yeah, I mean, I've only heard good things about Winger, like off the ice, and I heard he's a really good dude. He's a family guy. He's got kids, and I heard he's a really stand-up guy. So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of good things too.
So for everybody who doesn't know, obviously we have all of our fan base watching this, but tell us a little bit about the Sheriff and Danny Granger, who you guys are, how your team works, and how you've built this amazing, great show you got.
Well, I'll start this one. So Sean started a show with his co-host Kyle Warner, who's a buddy of ours. And they started the show, and they had me on. I'll tell my story. They had me on as a special guest on episode 5. And then after that, I was just like, I really like this. Like, and I really liked the way Sean did it. Of course, I've always had faith in Sean, and I really liked how he did it and how him and Kyle did it. And I said, I got to be a part of this. So what can I do to help? And started helping out, and it turned into helping out to now we do everything together. And it's pretty awesome because it's gotten us really close. And you guys know, as a family, when you could do something together and you have a common goal and you are working on the same thing to get the same results, it's a pretty good feeling. And it's really cool to bring my hockey cards to come to life, right? Like when you could go somewhere, like we went and we were talking to Paul Coffey at a celebrity golf tournament. Yeah. And he's just standing there and I'm just like looking at Sean. Sean's looking at me. I'm looking at Sean. Sean's looking at me. It's like, do we say hi? We're like, yeah, we go say hi. Right. So like it's brought in some really cool experience for both of us. And and we're just riding the crest of the wave, my friends.
That's right.
Sick. Paul Coffey.
Yeah. Nice dude too, which is really awesome.
Was he good at golfing?
We didn't watch him golf. I don't think he golfed. It was like 42 degrees Celsius that day, so I don't think he was up for golfing.
Yeah, I know it's hot down where you guys are, but man, has it ever been hot up in Canada this summer and fall? Like we've had a heat warning. Danny, what'd you say? 4 weeks in a row, almost every day, we had a heat warning in the month of August and even the beginning of September. So like, it's been really hot up here. The day we had that tournament, it was super hot. So I know some of the older players, because it was for Steve Ludzig. So a lot of his boys are in their 50s and 60s now, right? And they're getting up there. So some of the old timers kind of sat it out, but some guys got through it, and it was a great day of golf, and it was a great experience for our show, which we represented very well.
Oh yeah, I definitely get the heat. I always think so much that I found the game of hockey to play, especially when I live in Arizona, because I see all my friends playing like football and baseball. I'm like, I could never do that. And they're playing it at like 5 o'clock, which is like prime time for like 110 degrees here. And it's terrible.
Any Austin Matthews sightings down in the summertime?
I saw so Boris Desenko, who coaches Austin Matthews, I saw a couple Instagram pictures of him with Austin Matthews, but unfortunately I haven't seen Austin. I think he skates at either Arcadia, which is where Boris skates, or at the ice, and both are pretty far from where I skate. I think it's like The Iceland's like 40 to 50 minutes away from where I live, and then Arcadia is like 30 to 40 as well. So if I would freak out if I saw Austin Matthews. Though. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he had a breakout season last season, and I only expect him to kind of add on to that this year. The Leafs are supposed to be even better, so yeah.
I think we lost him. It's just me and you, Sean.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Right on, buddy. Your picture, but your picture though for shows is really good, man. Like, where are you right now?
I'm in that billiards room upstairs near the gym.
You're where?
We have a billiards room.
In the building?
Where you play.
Oh, you're okay. Right on. So what floor is that on?
The 8th. Before we started 34. But before we started recording, a guy came in and told me I couldn't be here, so I just politely told him that it's okay.
He told you that you couldn't be there?
You have to sign everything out because of COVID.
Oh, okay. So he said that you're not eligible because there's no paperwork behind it.
Yeah, and they close at 8. And I just said to him, "No, we're good. We're good, man. Don't worry about it." He's like, "Oh, okay." And that was that.
Yeah, man. No, but the lighting's really good. And the connection's perfect.
Yeah,
right?
They have Wi-Fi up here. I think we're live on their feed here, so maybe we should talk about how nice the guys Will and Chase are.
All right, right on. Yeah, we're still live, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to be on their platform because I think that Chase is going to be the future of hockey in the South. You know what I mean? And I want to be a part of this kid's journey, right? So I love every little connection that we have with Splitting Twigs. They're very positive. They're a family, so it's a nice touch to it, and I think it's pretty cool. So yeah,
It said our camera crash will be back soon, so that's good. We'll just keep talking about the boys.
Okay, yeah. So I wonder if it'd be a nice little story about Rick that about the rescheduling, or I don't know, this little fill-in, nah. But I know that the NHL camps are all getting going. I'm seeing a lot of feed. I saw a feed of this photographer, this Rochester Americans photographer. Her name is Michelina. And on her feed, she was at this rink where it was the Sabres, but you could tell that there was a lot of AHL guys in the lineup and stuff. And it's kind of cool because I'm going to be doing that in about 3 weeks. And just to see it right now, like it gets my blood flowing and stuff. And that's one of the things that I wanted to ask Chase was, like as in regards to their seasons, like what point are they at right now? Like, have they started? Are they close? Because I know like the tryouts up in Canada for his age are always in like April, and then the team is kind of picked throughout the spring, and then there'll be summer skates, and then it gets right into the season. So I was going to see how it was down south. I think they might be coming back, so you'll be able to answer my question. There he is.
Wait, I'm frozen. Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, bro.
But now we can't see it.
We might have just lost you though. I should have quickly asked him while we had him. Oh no, so he can definitely hear us, obviously, because we're still live. So Chase, I was gonna ask, buddy, at what stage are you guys at with your hockey in that part of the United States? Like, if you guys actually started the season, are you still in the preseason stuff? So you'll have to answer that once you get back on live with Sean and Danny.
We come on your show and we ask you questions, buddy. It's kind of what.
Yeah, talking to Rick today, man. I remember all the shows that he did, and yeah, man, this is cool. We could even create our own show here where it goes back and forth we ask them questions, they ask us.
Okay, we're
yeah,
back.
no, it's just an honor. Here we go, Chaser.
And there you go, Chaser. It's okay, guys.
Sorry, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, get all the kinks out. This is why we don't do a live show.
Well, it's yeah, that's right. I guess live on YouTube. Well, it's not necessarily, isn't it? It goes right on, I think, right after the recording, right? Or is it live on YouTube? That would be live, I guess.
That's
Yeah. Are you guys there?
We can hear you.
All right, give me 1 second.
And we see an awesome logo.
Yeah, so our computer crashed. That has never happened before. Obviously, this is our first show back in a while, and we're rusty. So glad to see Danny on because you guys have us covered right now.
Yeah, man. We like to talk.
Let me see if I can figure out how to get this webcam on real quick because now we just switched to a laptop. So,
Right on.
EOS cam or webcam utility.
I like the way you guys say laptop.
Yeah.
Laptop.
Yeah, tech stuff like this happens all the time, guys.
all right, we're just
was
fixing
even,
one last problem with the camera.
What did you do to my laptop?
Oh, I hear the boss. You guys are in trouble.
He's using my work. I don't know if I'm gonna have. I don't have all the VPNs up. Okay, let's hold on, guys.
She knows how to fix this camera thing. I don't.
How are you guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I was able to hear a couple of the questions because like it would cut out and then I couldn't hear y'all and then I could hear y'all and then I couldn't.
Oh, Chase. So what I was saying was, what stage are you guys at right now as far as your hockey right now? Like,
Yeah.
when did the season start?
So where I'm at right now is I've had my tryouts, I've made my team, and we've been having a bunch of practices. Our season, so like I'm in an organization, so like we have like the 12U and everything, and so my organization, my team actually started playing a little bit later. So our season's starting a little bit later. So all the other teams have had games, but our first game is going to be October 1st. So in about 2 weeks or so, we're going to be able to play the first game.
Oh, that's awesome.
on, man.
Let us know how it goes.
Are you excited?
Oh, I am absolutely stoked. I am so excited. The last time I played a travel season game was, I think, February. So I'm so stoked to be back.
Yeah, because I think it was I think it was after in March when there was like lockdowns in Canada and the whole COVID thing really took over the world, you know?
Oh,
So in Arizona, we actually never stopped playing. So for them, even when COVID was at the height in March of 2020, he was one of 20 kids that was still able to get into the rinks. And COVID has never shut any of the play here, even in January of 2021 and then November of 2020, they were still playing 161 team tournaments.
Wow, crazy. Yeah. Everything shut down here.
Oh, wow.
But now that was only like in that part of the country, though. Like other parts of the country, they weren't doing that, right?
Yeah, everywhere. We definitely got really lucky in some aspects, kind of whatever your viewpoint is. They never quit. So they had to learn a whole different way of keeping themselves safe, which I think we did really well. And his mission coach is phenomenal. They have so many different mandates, and he's really protected the teams even through the height of COVID last year, and he's doing a great job now.
Oh, yeah. Our coach, I mean, and most of the rinks, masks aren't mandated in it or anything, and in most places they are, but our coach enforces us to wear, or not enforce, but like has us wear masks in the locker rooms all the time until the point, unless you have your helmet on, and to the point where you get to the ice, you have a mask on the entire time. And he encourages us to wear, he says that we don't have to, but he encourages us to wear a mask outside of the ring and just keep everybody that we can safe and try. Like, obviously COVID's inevitable. Somebody's going to get it, but it's just more about pushing that away and just trying to keep everybody safe.
Yeah. And if a coach says he's encouraging, he's telling.
Oh
There's
yeah,
reasons.
100%. I have both my shots and I've had COVID, and I wear my mask everywhere. And oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you guys, how is the cases right now in your state?
It's not as low as it used to be, but it's not as high as it used to be at the same time. Like, I don't think we're going to shut down again, but it also is kind of high to where the point, like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, people, like, it's still around and it's kind of dumb. But like, I think that, I don't know where I'm trying to go with this.
No, but I mean, it was because my question was a little bit complicated, so I apologize. But the only other thing I wanted to know, Chase, just because I'm very interested, because we're going through it right now in Canada, is the mandates. Like September 22nd, where we live, you have to have both your shots in order to get into an arena, in order to go to a restaurant, a gym.
Yeah.
Is there any mandates like that where you guys are?
No, I think that they're gonna pass. I think they're trying to pass a law to where interstate travel, so like going from like here to like California, here to Texas, you're gonna have both your shots and have proof of both your shots. And I think they're trying to make that a thing. And like international travel, so like if I was gonna go from here to Canada, I would have to have both my shots. But other than that, no. Like, if I go to my school and I prove that I have both my shots and my parents sign a waiver, I don't have to wear a mask. But that's about it. There's no like you have to get a COVID shot, but they're trying to make it to where you kind of have to.
Some of the personal businesses, like I know I read the Nashville Predators. A lot of the football teams are starting to. They're going to require vaccines for people to come to their games, which is kind of causing a dilemma now, because you got people who bought season tickets and who have bought tickets in advance who now they don't know what they're going to do. They don't have a way forward just yet.
Yeah, people like that would have a huge problem up here because they made it clear where the Toronto Maple Leafs play and the Toronto Raptors, the Scotiabank Arena.
Yep.
The company, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Group, they made it clear that anyone entering those doors that work in the facility, that have anything to do with the facility, have to show proof of vaccination or they're not allowed in, right? So that's how it is now up here, right? And it's affecting people like myself. Like I've gotten my first shot, but I'm not eligible to get my second shot until October 1st. So for 1 week, I'm not going to be allowed in the rink. I start October 8th.
So did your first give you any side effects?
From the first shot?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What did
soreness and fatigue.
Yep, that's about the same what we felt too. And the second one, they say if you have COVID, then the first one is bad, and if you haven't had COVID, the second one is bad.
My first one, like, I didn't get like fatigue or anything, but my arm definitely hurt pretty bad. But other than that, I was good. And then the second one, I didn't feel anything. The second one was just getting a flu shot. And surprisingly, I hate needles like to a dying passion. Like, I'm not against the COVID shot, but I was against it in the fact that I don't want to get poked by anything. And it actually was not that bad. Like, I would take that over like a flu shot. Like, the side effects are a little bit worse, but the actual needle was not bad at all.
Anybody on your teams
get
any side effects?
Like
bad side effects?
No, nobody that I've really known have gotten any super bad side effects. Nobody on my team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not too bad. Like I said, I know Chase is traveling to Chicago here in a few weeks to go play a tournament up there. And, their coach has already said, masks on the planes, masks pretty much everywhere. So that's good that they're still taking it serious, because I know that they're few and far between, but these breakthrough COVID cases, they say, at least they're not getting hospitalized. So it's not as bad. The shot's definitely doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping they don't have to make us wear masks when we're in our hotel room, because I don't know how I'm going to sleep with one on.
I'm sure you guys will just keep your distance from each other and you'll be all good.
Oh, yeah.
You're on the ice spitting on each other anyways. So let's just be honest, right? So
Don't stay 6 feet apart with your mask on off the ice, but go ahead and hit each other and get up in each other's business while you're on the ice without a mask. It's all good.
That's right. Yeah, man. So this tournament in Chicago, when is it, Chase?
It's October 14th through the 17th, and it's actually going to be the first time I've ever gotten to travel for hockey, because last year was my first travel season, and we were supposed to travel for hockey. I mean out of state hockey. I've traveled like around the state, but that's about it. But we were supposed to travel out of state last year, but most of our tournaments got canceled. But this year it hasn't gotten canceled yet, and so I'm really, really excited to get to go out.
And so it's going to be it's 3 full days though that you guys are there, right? Like not including the travel days. Like you guys were there for 3 days.
Yes.
Tournament. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. And this is your first like overnight thing for hockey?
Yeah, it's my first time ever traveling anywhere for hockey. I'm so excited.
Great on, bro. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, I'm so stoked. I cannot wait for it. I'm counting the minutes, the seconds to our tournament. I'm so excited.
Now, have they told you guys like the setup? Like, is it 2 players to a room? Are parents coming? Like how does it work with this tournament?
Parents are not allowed to they're not allowed to be in the same hotel with us, and they have to travel on a different plane or some, I think. And then so I think it's 2 players per room.
Most likely.
Yeah, then there's 2 players per room. And parents are allowed to go, but they're not allowed to talk to us, and they're not allowed to be in the same hotel as us.
Right on. Well, the one thing I can tell you, brother, is that this experience that you're going to have, like for the 3 days plus the travel days, you're going to get a roommate, if not 2, right?
Yeah.
The bond that you're going to develop with these teammates, you're going to remember for the rest of your life. It's really, really cool. They're going to be called roommates on the road now. You know what I mean? Because that was the first road tournament. So you're going to like refer it to as, oh, that was my roommate on the road. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're talking about one teammate a little bit more than the others. And someone's like, hey, is that like your best friend? Yeah, I guess it is. He was my roommate on the road. And like, trust me, like it develops something a little bit extra. And it's something to look forward to, man. And hey, man, and you deserve it, bro, because you're a great kid. And I can't wait to hear the stories from this tournament, because I always had some amazing stories from tournaments, man. And it had nothing to do with the actual tournament.
Oh, I'm so excited. I will make sure to tell you about all of that. I think this year I get to go to it's not Chicago, it's a little town, I think an hour away from Chicago. But
Rockford?
No, I can't. I'd have to look it up. I can look up the name when you guys are chatting quick.
Because Rockford's an hour from Chicago, but maybe in a different direction.
Yeah, I think, and then I get to go to New Mexico in November. I think November 6th through 8th. And then I get to go to Nashville.
Oh, Smashville. Nash Vegas. You're gonna have a lot of fun there, man. That's such a culture-rich city, man.
And you're gonna eat well.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, Southern barbecue, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll dig it.
The NHL lockout season way back in 04-05, the AHL teams got to play like in their NHL rinks that year, right? Because there was no NHL. So the Milwaukee Admirals were the farm team for Nashville Predators. So when we played Milwaukee, the game was in the Nashville Predators arena. And man, they had live country bands playing in every corner of the arena. They had it was just a live party. It was almost like a concert with a hockey game in the middle of it. It was really cool experience, man. It's different than the I'm sure you guys know that, but you're gonna have an incredible time in Nashville, my friend.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. That 2004 to 2005 season that the NHL didn't play, that was when the Trashers brought that, I forgot his name, but the NHL player who won the Stanley Cup for that team down to the play for them, right?
Yeah, I mean I know that the team was building around that time. There was a lot of excitement behind the team. I think are you talking about PK Subban maybe?
No, I'm talking about
Rob.
Mike Rob. Yeah, Mike Rob.
Right on. Yeah, man. man, they were the talk of the town, the Preds, man. They were doing a really good job building the team at that time for sure.
Oh yeah. So Sheriff, let's test your memory out a little bit. Let's go back with Chase going on his first tournament coming up and his first road trip away from mom and dad. Do you remember your first road trip and what was that like for you? What was that about?
Well, I'm trying to think back of what I should compare it to. I went on a lot of tournaments when I was a kid because my travel team was like the team that did that the most. And I remember being around Chase's age and that being a time where in my family, like my two younger brothers, they're also playing travel hockey. My sister's still playing. We're all in school. My mom's very busy. She can't be in 4 different places at the same time, right? So there was times where I had to go where I wasn't with my parents, with my mom. So pretty much like I said, the same type of deal of the roommates on the road type of thing. It's going to be an experience for you that may be similar to when kids go to university, go to college. That's the beauty of hockey because we get to experience things well before a lot of our peers do because we're going on travel tournaments. We're playing in front of big crowds. Like a lot of people don't get to experience stuff like that, Chase, until they get a little bit older, right? So you just have to know in your own mind that this is a big thing that you're doing, but you deserve to do it, and it's going to be a great experience. And you just got to be very proud and very confident, my friend.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And just go ahead. All right,
Sorry.
Chase can step out.
Sorry, I drank 2 Pepsis.
Hey, man, that's no problem. Hey, while he's doing that, dude, like I hope you don't get annoyed, but man, I just can't get over the jerseys that you guys are wearing.
Yeah, no, these are really
mind
cool.
just showing me again, man? Because the color to me, that color is incredible, man. Danny, look at the color.
That's awesome.
Isn't it nice?
So it's Infamous Hockey. Obviously, they sponsor us. They're geared more towards youth hockey products. Like you don't usually hear about sticks for little guys with flex and all that. So they create hockey sticks and gear specifically for the younger kids, and they don't charge up like CCM and Bauer and all them do. And then on the back is
it's awesome,
man. It's really nice.
So yeah, they sent us some pretty sweet stuff, and then they teamed up with somewhere over here, West Coast Hockey, and they do a lot. West Coast Hockey does a lot of apparel. They make T-shirts, hats, everything, and they're just really good people. I mean, we don't ask for anything, and they support us, and we in turn, because they're geared towards youth, we support them 100%.
Man, I don't think I've seen so many nice logos all associated with each other, man. Those are some nice logos, man. Yeah. All 4 of them. Yours is the best, but the other 3 are incredible, man.
So I do have a couple questions for you and kind of talking points. Maybe you and Chase can discuss a little bit, but I don't know if you heard the USA hockey rules for this year and the changes for youth hockey. Have you heard about these? What starts out this year?
I haven't. Please tell me.
So I'll let Chase talk about the hitting. The only one that really kind of irritates me a little bit is there's no more delayed offsides. You can't tag up. So every time the play is offsides, there's no tagging up. It's automatically blown dead in the face-off. So I think the games are going to be a lot longer, and they're going to be a lot more drug out because of that. I think that they should still keep the tag up offsides. What are your thoughts?
It's going to delay things a lot, my friend. There's going to be some late nights if they don't change that one back. I think you hit the nail right on the head, man, with that. Because but seriously, like especially like with the younger kids, like even in pro, like most plays are offside, but the players recognize it right at the end, and the guy's stretching his leg or doing something just to stay on side, right? But when you're younger, you're not skilled enough to be stretching your leg at full speed and staying on side. You're going offside, right? So unless the kids can tag up, man, it's going to be blown down all the time.
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree. And then, So there's no more finishing checks with like the bantam age. Like you have to like you can't pick up your stick and go and hit somebody. So like you know how like you would hold your stick like up and then you blow somebody up who's running up the boards or something. You're not allowed to do that. You have to have your stick on the puck and you can only bump them and you can't finish your check. Even at my age, which is 16.
Man, I mean, I can't say that I'm not surprised, but man, I cannot believe what you just said. So you're not allowed to run a guy through the boards anymore, pretty much, is what that means. Yeah, no more hard hits. Just rubbing out now. Just rub guys out.
Bumping the puck or trying just to barely bump them off the puck.
Like practice when the coaches say, guys, just no hitting. Let's just practice our skills. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's hard. It's that's a tough one because what that's gonna do is that's gonna open the door for players to like not even go near the other players. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it's going from like when I was at that age, like let's say I was 15 years old, Chase. So at 15 years old, I'm in Bantam, about to go to Tier 2 Junior A, and we are literally taught when we go in on the forecheck to try to hit that defenseman as hard as we can. And that way, he's going to give up the puck. And then our other winger can pick up the puck. And then we, just bounce off our hit and be in the slot for a shot and a goal. Like, that's how hockey used to be 20 years ago. Now they're teaching just rub them out, just angle them out. And I mean, it's teaching a certain type of skill, but it's really taking away from the roughness of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm still surprised that you told me that. So are those the two major ones, or is there more?
Your stick can't be above 75 centimeters.
Long, or off the ice?
Long. Like there's a height restriction on your stick.
Oh, okay. Do you know what it was before, or is it a big change from?
It before? Is. The stick I have right now is 75 centimeters, like on the dot, and it's small.
And how tall are you again?
I'm 6 foot.
Right on.
Yeah. So, wow. And there's people who make me look short on my team, and but thankfully that one's not like checked. It's only checked if the other coach requests it.
Wow.
What advantage or disadvantage would that give you?
So I think I think that defenders typically use a lot longer stick because they can reach out and poke the puck away if they're back skating and they got a forward coming at them. Typically they'll have a longer stick than your forwards because then they can reach out and poke the puck away. Or if you're going to battle a guy in the corner and you always lead with your stick first, you got a lot more reach with it. So that's really the only advantage that I can think of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think about like a guy like Wendell Clark, for example, right? I mean, that guy made a career out of hitting guys hard. Body check, right? Made a career out of it, man. Like I remember being a little kid and seeing a video of Wendell Clark just hitting some guy behind the net, just flattening the guy. But so what would happen right now? Like, would do you think that player would get kicked out of the game?
Yeah,
because these rules are now.
Yeah, so a 5-minute major, you're automatically kicked out of the game.
But if you run someone over with a huge body check, are you getting kicked out of the game?
Most likely for charging, yeah.
Yeah. No, but even if it wasn't a charge, though, you think they'd still do it? Because charging means you got to be taking a big run at the guy. But if he has the puck and you just smash him, right? They don't want the hard hits anymore. I think that's what they're trying to kind of grandfather out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think the refs are going to be tossing guys, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're out of here. Hard hit.
Yellow card. I think there are another rule also is there's no icing on penalty kills.
You can't ice it
on a penalty kill.
Yeah, they started that. A couple years ago. Where in youth hockey now, you can't, if you're on a penalty kill, you can't ice the puck, because if you do, they're going to blow it dead and bring it back. Just normal icing applies.
Wow. So I guess that. Sorry, go ahead.
So Ryan McNeil was just listening in about our conversation, and so his son Ollie's been on our show, and they have started playing games a couple weeks ago. And he said in our game last week, they just called roughing for the excessive checking we were talking about. So that's maybe what we're looking at.
Yeah. Thank you. Who was that? Let us know.
So Ryan McNeil, his son was
Thank you, Ryan McNeil.
Yeah, his son was one of Chase's goalies, and he just moved out to the Arizona Junior Coyotes he's playing with now. So
good for
Solid.
him.
Congratulations. So yeah, that makes total sense, guys. They're calling roughing penalties for hard hits.
Yeah.
Right?
All-star game, boys. They just want to make everything look like an all-star game.
Oh yeah, one of my friends said that the rules is just so Will Timmy can finally get some playing time.
Right on, man. And man, Chicago and Nashville, I'm still thinking about those things.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Well, and what's going to be really interesting, because you guys in Canada aren't governed under USA Hockey, so I'd imagine when American teams come up to play Canadian teams, they're physically going to get dominated, and then vice versa. If Canadian teams come down, I think they're going to see a lot more disadvantages when it comes to special teams play.
I mean, yeah, if any of the Canadian teams going to the States for tournaments right now with those rule changes, they're going to be in the box for most of the game, the Canadian teams, right? Yep. Because especially at your age, Chase, I just remember, I don't know how, I guess you're going to find out, right? Because you're about to start, but I just remember at that age, man, there always being a player or two on every team that was just so aggressive, man, and it just stood out above the other ones, right? And those were probably the kids that are just mostly complete with puberty already. You know what I mean? There's always a reason. The kids that have grown up already. There's one or two of them on every team, I find. And with the Canadian teams, there's going to be one or two that are going to be in the box 5-6 times a game when they play you guys.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that some of the rule changes are kind of dumb, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Just got to work around it, you know.
Well, as a
I'm not saying.
The one good thing they did change, though, so they have one good rule change that I agree with. And at faceoffs now, they don't throw centers out. So now they can just warn them and end up dropping the puck.
Wow. They can't throw them out? How many warnings, though? Is there I guess they'll just probably just drop it.
I haven't read into that. I haven't read that.
But that's good, though.
You know, that they're trying to get away from tossing centers out of faceoff. So I do like that. Yeah,
no, I hear you. I mean, guys, just to add to that whole roughing body check thing, I mean, to be honest with you, being a realist, when I played, I had to play the enforcer role, blah, blah, blah. I really appreciate the skill in the game. If I was a coach, my team would probably be a very offensive team, right? I really appreciate the skill in hockey. I just had to play the way I played just to play at the highest levels, right? But I'm telling you one thing, what they're teaching them, with the angling and rubbing out, I mean, to be honest with you, the NHL these days, that's kind of the way that they play, at least in the regular season they do. You can get away with being if you're one of the fastest guys on the ice and you're stick checking guys, but you're getting the puck, like Austin, he stick checks a lot, but he's really good at it, right? Yeah. And he gets that puck. He creates turnovers by not necessarily body checking. So maybe that's kind of the way it's going, and certain minor hockey organizations are recognizing that, right? And they want their guys to have a lead on the other organizations. But I'm telling you, man, if people can master angling people off and just rubbing them out and getting the puck, I mean, it's going to take a lot less energy. When you're trying to drive a guy through the boards, it takes a lot of energy, right? So they might have something there. I have to admit it, man.
Yeah, the start and stuff when you have to hit somebody. Connor McDavid, super fast players like him.
Yeah.
in the video, Connor McDavid is so fast.
He is, man. I was just about to say, I saw a video of that man the other day just doing like a speed skating drill. And like it almost seems like, just like Paul Coffey we were just mentioning, it seems like they don't even really touch the ice. Like they're just symmetry, you know? It's incredible. And that's why he's the MVP most years, right?
I mean, he makes the hardest drills just look so effortless. And it's like, oh my God, I couldn't do that if I tried that 100 times. And this guy is doing it while his eyes are closed and he's drinking a coffee, I swear.
Yeah, well, he's done it a million times, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference, right? You will. You will.
Dude,
those guys put in the work.
McDavid came to Toronto and completely embarrassed the Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman, man. Like he did some moves. There was one move where he was going wide on the left wing, and then he made it seem like he was gonna go inside, and then he just turned and went outside and just blew by everybody and scored. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The commentators are like, bro, there's no way that anybody could have caught up to him after he made that move. Like he sold it. His head was looking towards his guys who were coming towards him, and his body shifted that way, and then he just makes that quick swivel move out.
Yeah. I think it was Riley that he turned inside out. I'm not sure. But
just to do that move alone and score is insane. To do that against one of the best defenders in the league at such a young age, I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. Highlight reel tape stuff, man.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about Ovechkin coming kind of close to breaking Gretzky's record?
I mean, I think it's really cool. I saw this poster that I actually took a screenshot of. I liked it so much. And it was an Ovechkin platform. So he was trying to say that him and Gretzky are the GOATs. Yeah. Like he wants to be, and I don't blame him, man. I'm a big Ovechkin fan. Okay. So, but Ovechkin's camp wants people to think of him in the same light as Gretzky. Because if you look at the numbers, he has to score like another, I don't know, it's like 150 or whatever it is, but he can get there because he can still play like 3 or 4 more seasons, right? But he's played less games though. So I don't know what the goal per game comparison is, but I think it's pretty close because Ovechkin has a lot less games played, right?
I mean, I think somebody who would have came the closest to, or somebody who could have annihilated Gretzky's record was Mario Lemieux, because you look at how many goals he scored, but then you look at how many games he played like 200, 300 less games than Gretzky did. I feel like if he played those games, he would have just annihilated Gretzky's record.
I agree. I think he would have shattered all the records, man. Mario was, man, that guy was he's pretty much like a hockey god. The man was 6'6" and was able to.
Huge. I met him once, and I was looking up to him like, damn, you're tall.
Yeah, I mean, big. People that big to move, just like a really good example of somebody like that is Muhammad Ali, who was like that fit. I mean, even as like a heavyweight, and who just those really big behemoths who can move like they're, I mean, Floyd Mayweather is just absolutely insane.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah. I mean,
rumble, young man, rumble. Yeah, man, I totally agree with you. I think I'm having a little bit of deja vu. I think we may have talked about Super Mario before, but that was one of my starstruck moments when I was in my early 20s playing in the AHL, going to a Sabre game with a couple of my AHL buddies, and the Sabres are playing the Pittsburgh Penguins. Mario is not playing, got the night off. We got a chance to meet him. I got to shake his hand. His hand was about 3 times the size of mine. He's about 4 inches taller than me, or 2-3 inches taller than me. And the man was it was incredible, man. Like it seemed like it wasn't even real. It seemed like I was in a movie. Like that's how legendary Mario Lemieux is. And I think he would have shattered all those records, buddy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't even think it would be close. Mario. I mean, that guy, it's just absolutely insane what he could do on the ice. Like, I mean, even Gretzky. I mean, Gretzky was an amazing player, and he was an amazing passer. Like, I mean, if you look at some of the plays that he did passing, was just instrumental. But even he admitted that he said he played hockey at the right time. He said that if he played 10 years later, that he would have never come close to the numbers that he would have had, just because the game's so much faster now.
Well, the thing with Gretzky, though, too, right? He could sit behind that net and wait for a pass.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't do that nowadays. And when you have someone like Stamenko staring at you from the bench, you let Gretzky stand behind that net.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because no, thank you. Right? You have McSorley staring at you. You just do whatever you want Gretzky to do, right?
And then, I mean, you hear about all the stories like, kind of like Connor McDavid. I mean, Connor McDavid's been blown up a couple of times, but those guys who are just that fast, you can't touch. I mean, you can't hit something you can't touch. I mean, I remember my coach telling me that Gretzky was a really fast player for the day and age that he was playing. And I know that he still had those enforcers, but even then, I mean, you can't really hit what you can't touch. You know?
Well, and that's when we had Jerry Rollins on. Jerry Rollins played with Wayne Gretzky right before Gretzky went up to the NHL, and that's the exact same thing Jerry said. He said, I was told to go out there and put him on his butt and see, you know, can this kid handle it? Can he play at our level? And I could never catch him. You can't hit Gretzky. It's impossible.
Yeah, man. He's the great one.
He's a great one. Yeah.
That's the best way to sum it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw a big hit on Connor McDavid. I was like, oh my goodness, they must have caught him on his blind side or something, because there ain't no way that if that man saw you coming that you would ever touch him.
So now here's the thing. This is what I just thought of, guys. What about Drysdale on the same team?
Yeah, that duo is insane. I feel like the reason why they're on the same line is because Connor McDavid is so fast. If you look at like some of his highlights, you see that his teammates are just left in the dust by him. And then you realize just how instrumentally fast he really is. But Draisaitl can keep up with him. If you look at those plays where Connor makes those insane passes, Draisaitl puts them away, Draisaitl's right there with him. Like, I feel like they're such a good duo because Draisaitl can keep up with him and actually make the plays as Connor gives them to him.
So now Drysdale, but did Drysdale win the MVP this past season, or was it the season before? Because he won the Hart Trophy once in the last 2 years. I know that.
Yeah, I think it was the season before.
Okay, and then did McDavid win it this past season, right?
I think so.
Sure.
Because didn't he have like over 100 points this season?
I'm almost positive McDavid got the Hart.
He had like a 100-point season this year.
Yeah, so season they made a big news deal out of that.
Oh yeah, in a shortened season, Connor McDavid had 100 points. Like, how insane do you have? I mean, he would be legendary status if he got it during a normal season. To get that in a shortened season, like, that's just unheard of. It's so insane to watch that guy play.
And I know that you're Austin Matthews for goals. He was like an incredible ratio for the shortened season as well.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Austin did really good, man. He was man, Austin was in the talk for the Hart as well. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He was in the conversation.
He's a very good two-way player. He's a very, very defensive forward.
I was just about to say that. The reason he finds so much success is because he's such a good two-way player. I mean, you watch like Ovechkin, who doesn't back check to save his life, but then he scores 730 goals. And then you watch Austin Matthews, and he's right there. I mean, in every play. I mean, on the opposite side, or on their side, the neutral zone and their own end. I mean, he's just everywhere, giving it his all every second he's on the ice.
It's a great point, man. And you know what? Like that. Now I'm thinking of Austin in a different light after you said that, because it's so true. It's so true, Chase. Like, he really is, man. He really is. And you know, the great number 8. I mean, I love the guy, but he doesn't play. He doesn't get back, man. He won't get back. Like he'll come back, but sometimes he won't even get inside his own blue line.
Yeah, I saw a video of somebody scoring on him, or scoring on the Caps. And all you see is them score, and then like 5 minutes later, you see Ovechkin finally cross the blue line.
Yeah, I mean, that's too bad about King Lundqvist. Hey, Washington signed him, right? And then No, but what happened? What was he had he had done a surgery?
It was a medical issue with him.
He had a heart surgery, and then after his heart surgery, he was recovering perfectly, getting ready to come back. And then he got an infection from the surgery, and then that just put him out. He couldn't come back.
And then he had to retire.
Yeah.
Right? So he's done. King Lundqvist is his reign is over, man.
Yeah.
It just shows though too that it can be taken away in a second.
Yeah.
Right? You just got to embrace. Doesn't matter how good you are.
Exactly.
Right? Your health is everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Taken away in a second, man. Just enjoy every minute.
I got a question for you guys down there. What about that arena stuff, man? What's going on with that?
Don't even start with
that. No. What I mean is, like, I literally don't really know what the motives are here. Like, is it the arena saying we don't want you guys here, go somewhere else, or is it the team wanting to get out? Or
so the place that the stadium is, it's in Gila River. I think it's in Gilbert.
It's in Glendale.
Glendale.
Yeah.
So it's not in Phoenix. It's actually outside of Phoenix. And the other major sports teams are in Phoenix. The Suns, the Diamondbacks, they're all in Phoenix. Well, the city of Glendale has been just kind of leasing this arena to the Coyotes. And they're like, nope, they want to promote more concerts. They think they'll get more use out of it by putting concerts on and stuff like that instead of having a hockey team. Now, if you haven't been to Phoenix, the Coyotes arena is right next to where the Cardinals play. Like, they're literally walking distance from each other. So with Gila River saying, hey, or City of Glendale saying, we're not going to lease your stadium to you guys anymore. Now they're looking at other options. And actually 2 days ago, I read a really big article. So I'm kind of pretty fresh on this. The owner of the Coyotes owns a bunch of casinos and everything. He's a billionaire. He's got lots of money. So in a city called Tempe, that's about maybe 40 minutes away from where the rink is now, but it's going the opposite direction on the other side of Phoenix. They put a bid on a big piece of land that right now is like a landfill type of area. So it'll take a couple years to develop. They're the only people that put the bid in, so they're probably going to get it. Well, the owner of the Coyotes also owns a construction business that's probably going to do this at a pretty decent cost for him. And there's in downtown Phoenix, there's also a place called, it's like the Memorial Coliseum or something like that. It's at the state fairgrounds. And what they're thinking is going to happen is that the Coyotes are going to play out this year where they're at. They still got their rink this year. And then he's going to dump some money into that arena at the state fairgrounds, and they'll play out of there temporarily until their new one's built in Tempe. And with the amount of money this guy has, I can imagine the rink they're going to have out in Tempe is going to be amazing. Along with, they're going to build a couple hotels and stuff by it. But he's a very smart businessman. And even Gary Bettman was saying that there's no interest in moving the Coyotes out of Phoenix. So I think they're here to stay.
Yeah, I think that after their inauguration season and everything, I don't think that they're ever going to go out. But I think that new arena that they're going to build is going to be gorgeous.
Well, man, I'll tell you one thing. Like as a Canadian, that's some great insight on that NHL team because, like, you see articles about the lease being forced to be ended. Does that mean that Quebec City might have a chance and the team might get relocated? And, people are trying to start those rumors. And if you're not in that immediate area, you're not really hearing stories about that owner. So, man, there's a lot of people listening to this that do not know what you just said.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting stuff. Very exciting stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing that teams really need is a state-of-the-art facility. And if that team's getting that, man, that means they are there to stay. They're not going anywhere. They're never going anywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think about – so I've been reading a bunch from the Seattle Kraken. It was so funny. I saw this guy make a post. It was like, I see the NHL putting giving $5 million or like $10 million deals to guys who don't do anything. And it was some ex-hockey player, and he said, oh, wow, you're totally right. But don't you remember when you got paid $5 million for – 6 goals and 22 points in the 2006 season? It was so funny.
Yeah, Jeremy Roenick.
Yes, that's who it was.
Jeremy Roenick likes to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember Patrick? Patrick couldn't hear him with his 2 Stanley Cup ring plugged in his ear.
That's right.
Right?
That was one of the funniest things. That's character, man. When you're seeing guys going back and forth and people actually recognize who the two guys are, and wow, like that's when you build big audiences, man. Man, Patrick Roy and JR, they deserve a lot of credit for that. Like, they brought a lot of attention to the NHL. Just that little feud that they had. And it was hilarious, man. Like,
characters, right? That's what they're lacking. They got a lot of skill in the NHL, but there's not a lot of characters. And I think that's another reason why so many people love Ovechkin. Because right, you always see him all over social media and stuff too, and showing off his family. And
what about hot dog Phil Kessel?
I want to meet his nutritionist.
He's a legend in Toronto, man.
So funny. Yeah. I saw a video and it was like probably a quote probably said by Phil Kessel. Somewhere in me there's a really good skinny hockey player, but I normally just suppress him with hot dogs.
Man, he's a legend in Toronto, man. Like, he's such a good player, and it's not like a lot of Leaf fans like are all over him these days. But the thing is that the team just wasn't good when he was here, man. Straight up, the team wasn't good. They didn't really get good until a couple years ago, and they've been just sucking in the playoffs, right? But but before, they weren't even doing well in the regular season, and that's when Phil Kessel was there, right? But he still led the team in points, and and in weight.
And again, he's a character, right?
I mean, I've heard so many different stories about if Phil Kessel didn't play hockey. I mean, there's no other sport he would play, Like,
ping pong.
I mean, he's just it fits with him.
No, I heard he was the best ping pong guy in the room. Because you got to remember, Toronto's AHL team is in Toronto as well, right? Yeah. So I have a lot of buddies on the Marlies that got called up to Toronto at that time, and they told me, they're like, dude, that guy could be a professional ping pong player.
Oh, Jesus, of all the things you could play.
I'm just thinking about it, man. You don't got to move around. You just got to have a nice arm and wrist, right? He had a good wrist, man. The man could snipe, right?
Oh, I went to
this
a
shot.
I went to a Coyote game, and I saw him. He got a break, or it was a 2-on-1. He got the puck, and from literally like 2 feet from the blue line, he ripped the shot bar down. It was the fastest shot I've ever seen.
Dude, anyone that doesn't like him has to admit the guy can shoot the puck.
Oh yeah,
he's got sick hands, man. They have to admit that. Yeah, he's fat. Yeah, he's whatever. But my man has some sick mitts, man, and he can snipe like anyone else.
Oh yeah. Speaking of other sports, I don't know if you've seen it, but Ali said that 66 is better than 99. You're gonna get killed at paintball tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm going paintballing with my best friend Ali tomorrow morning, and I'm super excited. And his mom or his auntie, her name is Miss Pupo. She works at my school, and I see her every single day because my school is really small. So like, her and then my world history teachers share a classroom. So I see her every single day, and she's going paintballing with us tomorrow.
No way.
I'm going to get Ollie, though. I promise. I'm going to get him. And I got practice later that night, so I'm just hoping he doesn't leave any whelps where I'm going to get hit.
Yeah, man.
Well, Ollie, I know you're out there watching, so now you know where to aim for Chase.
No.
So I'm assuming that he's a big Gretzky fan because he was saying 66 better than 99. Man, you're dead in paintball, right? That's what he was saying. Yeah, you're dead. Yeah. So he's yeah. So he's pro Gretzky. Man, I'm a big Gretzky fan too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Gretzky was my favorite player growing up. But when I became an adult and I realized, how big Mario Lemieux was, and then meeting him, and I'm just like, man, like I became a Mario fan as an adult. As a kid, I was the Great One's biggest fan.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Like, when I was first coming up in hockey, I was like, Wayne Gretzky, best player to ever live by far. I mean, not even close. And then I realized that there were so many other players who reached, even above him. Like, Gordie Howe, all of them. Yeah. Like, they're just once in a lifetime players. And which brings me to another thing. They were talking about how Gordie Howe and all of them, they were once in a lifetime player. And they were just saying like Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews were just once in a generation player. I think that they can reach that once in a generation or once in a lifetime player, though. What do you think?
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, I'm telling you, like with the way that the game is going right now, the speed, like the skill that they're developing, the way that the game's changing, where it's kind of going more towards a Olympic style, other than the 90s and 2000s. Man, they're going to be breaking records, and they're going to be put on levels that are comparable to the greatest of all time. That's what I think.
The thing with Gretzky and stuff, though, too, like I grew up in a small town, just 3 hours from Toronto. Sean grew up in Scarborough in Toronto. So like Gretzky's like prime minister here, right? Like he's the man in Canada, right? Just straight up, he is around here. So he was in everything, though, right? Like Pepsi commercials. He had a cartoon. He had his own cereal. He had everything. Like he's one of the first guys to do it. So I think that's why he's held at such a high pedestal too, right?
Yeah.
He's got a major highway too.
Yeah. And like Connor McDavid and those guys, they have a nice sponsorship when it comes to hockey stuff, but not like, see the cereal in the grocery store. Like, you know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah.
Gretzky was everywhere.
Sorry, Denny.
Yeah, like he still is. Like there's a wine store down the street from my house, and outside of it is a big picture of Wayne Gretzky. Wow. He's got his own wine company, right? So like my daughters will walk by, and the oldest is 6, and she's like, "Oh, it's the great one." Right? So they
if any of you ever go to Edmonton, man, you drive into downtown Edmonton. One of the main highways is Wayne Gretzky Parkway.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, the reason why I went there is I got an invite to Oilers camp. So like just seeing that, like I'd never been to Edmonton before, you know what I mean? And just seeing how dominant he was in that city, they gave him the main expressway, man, in the city. It's pretty cool. Really cool stuff.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I mean, what these players have done is just unreal.
And to think that Parkway could have been in Winnipeg.
What about the what team was it? I think it was Buffalo. Buffalo was one thing away from getting Connor McDavid.
Yeah, man. I mean, Buffalo's in a reputation / era / whatever transition they're going through, man. They're going through a very hard time right now, but I'll say one thing. The Buffalo Sabre organization is a great organization, man. That's a huge hockey town. The team's just not doing well right now. They'll get out of this funk. But man, yeah, I mean, right now McDavid would not want to be on Buffalo.
No, I mean, they had look at the big Eichel debacle right now.
Where's Eichel going to go?
Yeah.
Where do you think he'll go?
I have no idea. I know a good fit, and this is not me being naive because I'm in Phoenix, but I think a good fit would be here because of the draft pick debacle and stuff. They're trying to rebound and rebuild in a new organization, new leadership. And I think Eichel would be one of their good young players to bring this young team back up.
That's really, really sad, man, that couldn't work out in Buffalo. They need to just get all those people out of there, bring all new people in, man, because I'm telling you that town there, they got their AHL, because that was my organization, man. They got their AHL team just down the highway, man. Yep. It's such a great place to play. They really got to turn that NHL team around. The AHL team is thriving right now, but they got to turn the Sabres around, man, because that's a great place to be, and it's so close to like our hometown. It's great. Yep. Oh yeah, it's huge.
That it is. So Danny, we've stole a lot of the mic time. Tell us a little bit about Danny Granger and what is it like being behind the scenes of the Sheriff podcast? Like how exciting is that for you?
Oh, it's super exciting for me. Like I'm a Canadiens guy, Montreal Canadiens fan. I have been my whole life, right? My stepdad got me into it and got me hooked. And I remember one of the first guests I booked for the show was George Laraque. And I was so excited, man. I was so that called Sean. I'm all like giddy, dude, right? One of those, right? Because like it's a big deal for both of us, and like George is a big deal even for Sean growing up for his career and everything too, right? You know, being a man of color and seeing like representation like that, and an enforcer, it's a big deal, right? So that's when I got hooked for the Sheriff podcast, and I've been lucky enough with my art that it's introduced me to a lot of these people. Right, like I signed a deal a couple of years ago with Doug Gilmore for his clothing line, so my artwork's all over his clothing line, and
that's awesome.
being in with Canadian hockey royalty sure helps with your name, right? Because Doug Gilmore is respected by a lot of people around here, and just in the hockey community in general.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so that's what it helped me open up some doors for the podcast, and then getting to know these guys through just sending them messages, right? Like I said earlier, Sean's had such a huge career, played for so many teams that some people look at it as a disadvantage because he didn't get to stay somewhere long. But to us now, it's an advantage because it's a brotherhood, right? So he doesn't just have 2 teams of brothers. You know, you had 6 in the OHL. Like that's unheard of, right? So like, you know, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Sean's a bit of a character. So he stands out when people get introduced to him. So it's made it pretty easy to get guests because a lot of people have followed Sean's career, or if they haven't, they go to YouTube and they want to come on the show real fast, right?
Right.
So or you go to hockey, like when we were at that golf tournament, to bring it up again for Steve Lutzik Foundation, there was a group of guys that Sean was supposed to go golfing with, and like I don't think they knew who Sean was. Right, when they're out on the course, they thought, well, it's hockey DB, this guy. And when they saw him again, their eyes just lit up. So we're watching a fight. You 500, how many minutes at one season? And all this kind of stuff, right? And it's just like, so it's pretty cool. Like it's cool for me because it's passionate, and I can help Sean, right? Sean being family, I want to see him succeed because if anybody in your family succeeds, you succeed, right? And when Sean succeeds, it means there's less stress on my mother-in-law and his mother, who is literally an angel walking this earth. So if anything can take less stress off of her, that's my goal too, right? So it's just nice. And I always say to my wife, Sean's sister, it's nice when a Mick Morrow calls me and says how much they appreciate me. You know, so
yeah,
so it's good. Man.
If I could just add to that, Danny, I mean, Danny pretty much nailed it there. But I just wanted to say like how big of a part Danny is in this journey. He's running all the social media accounts. He's pretty much getting 8 out of 10 guests for us. And they're big time guests, right? That I'm just so excited when he tells me that he's nailed them, right? And, you know, it's brought us closer working together. Yes. And man, I appreciate every ounce of effort this man puts into it because it takes a lot of work. And we're at a stage right now where we don't have this sponsorship stuff yet. We've been talking to multiple people about it, but we haven't nailed it. We're doing everything on our own. You know, we're both, you know, busy people, and we're trying our best to bring the best content and have the most fun by doing this. And it's just brought nothing but joy to our lives. And we're very thankful for it, guys. And we're thankful. This is our first combined interview on another show. We're thankful for that.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
awesome. Like, we're thankful for having our association with you guys, right? Because what we try to do is we try to network with the biggest characters and people that are just for the better good. You know, like we talk about awareness and all that type of stuff, but guys, I mean, you guys are such good examples for everybody else. Chase, with the way that you work and all the things that you've accomplished and how young you are and doing this podcast and everything alike, buddy, people look up to you, man. And you got to be proud of that. And I can't wait for you to go through these tournaments, man, and get all these experiences that we were talking about earlier in the show. Man, you could see, man, look how excited I am. Like it gets my juices flowing, buddy. I'm really excited for you, pal. And you deserve all of it because you're a great kid. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the kids like you, man, that are as busy with hockey and school and everything that comes with your schedule, it takes discipline and hard work to do what you're doing. A lot of your peers, man, they're just hanging out, smoking cigarettes, hanging out after school, but at the plaza, all that type of stuff, man. Look how much time they're wasting, man. You're doing something productive. You're working your body. You're in great shape. Your mind is right. Man, I look up to you, Chase, and I'm what am I, triple your age?
Thank you so much.
No problem, buddy. We're just being real. The best podcasts are the real talk podcasts, buddy, and that's what you guys have right now.
I love having them. It makes the time fly by so bad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's family for us too, right?
Oh,
So with you guys being like a family foundation, it's just really nice. And like for the two of you guys, like just to have that positive male role model in your life, Chase, man, it's you feel very blessed, right? Not a lot of us had that. And I have two daughters, right? And so like that's what I want to be too, right? I want to be the fun dad, right? But you still got to be dad, right? you still got to be, and then you need it's a weird balance, but you guys are doing great. You and as much as your mom probably doesn't want to be talked about, you know, you're a great kid, Chase, and well, I guess you're a man now, so you're a good man, Chase, and we can't wait to hear all about this tournament, man. We were talking about it all week, to be honest. Sean and I were talking about it yesterday.
Trust me, I was going to tell you everything about it.
Good, man. Good. Keep a journal.
Oh yeah. I'll just keep
a journal. No, you should. You should. Like, I know a lot of people that are like, I have a lot of friends that are professional wrestlers, right? And they say the same thing. Like Mick Foley kept a journal, right? So now he can go back. He can see where he was, how he was. I talked to an old time hockey player, and he used to keep receipts. So it was the same thing, right? It would tell him where it is and how to be there and like where he was at the time. So it's all positives.
That's awesome.
And I want to see you guys pumping out shows now that you're back, man. You guys are too awesome to take another break.
Okay, my friend. Okay.
Summertime, man. Summertime. It was just it's so hot. And,
I
enjoy it as much as we can.
Yeah, man. And just be a kid. Enjoy your summer.
So much fun.
Well, guys, it's been fantastic having you guys on. Like Chase said, I think we definitely found our favorite guests here. And you guys, anytime, you guys are welcome to come on. And absolutely, it's been phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, we appreciate it. We really do. You guys really helped spread the word for our show from the beginning. And it means a lot to us. So thank you.
That's what it's all about, supporting each other. I mean, the hockey community is just one big family, and we all support each other. And if we don't do that, then why are we here and what are we doing?
That's it. And I'm just happy to see you guys back. You guys are back and in full effect.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. We're well in full steam.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll throw you down backstage here real quick. We're going to say goodbye to everybody, and then we'll chat right after the show, okay?
Right on, guys.
Thanks again for coming on, guys. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Wow, Sean and Danny, they've got to be my favorite two guests. I mean, what was that? An hour and 20 minutes went by, and it seemed like we just started talking.
I know, right? I mean, I'm looking outside. I see the big windows, and I see the sun going down. I'm like, shoot, wanted to shoot some pucks. That's all good.
Yeah, but we do apologize to everybody for the technical difficulties. It is our first show back, and unfortunately, our main computer ran out of memory and kind of shut down on us, so we had to improv and switch to a laptop. But
say improvise. All good.
But yeah, Sean and Danny kept it real and kept it going for us, so we owe them a lot. But everybody, it's been great. I think we're back tomorrow with Garrett Burnett, a former NHL player for the Ducks, and definitely look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.